it is time for us to read about astronauts and how they explore space. Today, we will be reading a book called Astronauts Exploring Space by Colleen Sexton. Astronauts are people who fly space shuttles or work in space. The word astronaut means star sailor. That's a really cool fact. People who become astronauts work in many different jobs. Some are in the military, some are scientists, some are engineers, doctors, or teachers. Teachers have gone to space before, and even dogs. There are different kinds of astronauts. Some astronauts are pilots. They fly space shuttles. So that's their job on the space shuttle is to fly. They are the pilot. Pilots can also be commanders. A commander is in charge of a space shuttle and makes sure everyone aboard is safe. So that's kind of like the boss, the leader on the spaceship. Some astronauts are mission specialists. They make sure the space shuttle systems work correctly. So they might be an engineer of some kind. The mission specialist is the one who knows what they're going to be working on and the things that they need to be able to reach that mission. Payload specialists are also members of space shuttle crews. They are not trained as astronauts. Their job is to work on experiments. So, this scientist is probably someone that may take rocks or different things from space or where they are and study them. They are doing experiments. Maybe they take something to space and see how it reacts to no gravity. They are doing experiments on the spaceship. Astronauts train at the Johnson Space Center in Texas. They take science classes and study how space shuttles work. They often practice using tools and machines. I know that sometimes they have a almost virtual reality practice where it looks and it feels there's force on them like they're in a takeoff, but they're not really. It's almost like a video game. So you can see in this picture that that astronaut is underwater doing some training. Underwater can help you almost feel like there's no gravity. Sometimes they, I can't see it because my picture, underwater to feel the way they are in space. Astronauts learn how to survive a crash landing on Earth. They practice using parachutes and swimming in flight suits. So, like I was talking about on the book yesterday, when they land, when they come back down from space, they land in water. So, they're practicing how to land safely and how to be in the water in their suits. Astronauts train for about 3 years. Then they are ready to blast off into space. So, it takes quite a while to learn to be an astronaut. There is little gravity in space. Astronauts are weightless. They float from place to place inside the shuttle. So you can see he's floating in the air because there is not gravity like on Earth. Astronauts strap themselves onto special beds or into sleeping bags to sleep. So to sleep, they can't just lay on a bed because they would float off. They have to strap themselves in or go into something so that they stay in one spot to sleep. Pretty crazy, huh? Astronauts must be careful when they eat. Their food can float away. Astronauts have a mission every time they travel to space. They sometimes bring supplies to a space station where other astronauts live and work. So that's when the spaceships meet together. They have to go slowly and plan it to maybe they're bringing something, maybe they're coming to do some experiments or work together. You can see that this astronaut is outside the ship or the space station doing some work. Astronauts may bring a satellite in the space shuttle. The pilot uses a robot arm to put the satellite into orbit. Mission specialists might make a spacewalk part of a space station. They wear special suits. So there he is floating outside. Remember, he has to be very safe. That's amazing. The astronauts are ready to go home. The pilot fires the engines and steers the space shuttle back to Earth. To be continued.